Okay, so I've worked at this pet company for literally 6 years. I've seen managers come and go, and yet I remained. I was a good employee, I came into work on my off days, always showed up early if I needed, and had many customers only wanting to deal specifically with me. This company I worked at has gone downhill since. I began working there, but it started to get really bad about 3 years ago. But I stuck with it because I genuinely enjoyed it. Now, a little backstory. I'm a former foster kid, this is relevant information, and when I was a child, I was always accused of stealing simply because I was a foster kid, and so I promised myself that when I grew up, if anyone accused me of theft and I 100% didn't do it, I would be out of there. About 2.5 weeks ago, I was called into the office and sat down by a phone. Now, I was chipper and ready to talk to this person as I had nothing to be worried about. And then the conversation changed. Instead of asking about my animals, I was now being told about what this person did for the company. As soon as the conversation started to change, I reverted back to my childhood and I could feel myself start to panic as memories from my childhood of being accused of things. So I straight up asked, "Am I being accused of theft within this company?" To which they responded, "Well, there was an incident." Well, let's not call it an incident. Around mid-December, you were seen on camera picking up a bed of fish, walking into pet care, and then leaving the store. I did ask to see it, but wasn't given the option. I don't doubt that what they saw was real, but what the camera probably didn't show was me throwing it out because they're in cups and die all the time. The person on the other end of the phone kept asking the same questions and repeating, "I'm just looking for that honesty piece," to which I kept responding, "Okay, but I didn't do it though." I ended up getting suspended for a week and my manager had to walk me out of the store. It was humiliating. So a week later, I'm given a phone call and told that the investigation was done and that I could come in for shifts. Great, they probably found me not guilty and are going to apologize. Nope, they doubled down, handing me a couple of papers going over more infractions that I supposedly did. The funny thing is, my record is so clean and that I've never been sat down for specific infractions before, yet all of a sudden now they exist. Convenient. So I signed the papers, went through my entire shift, and then went home to write my resignation letter. Here's the thing about my job position. I'm the pet trainer at my location, and I schedule classes 3 months in advance. Because of COVID, we were shut down for a little bit, but we were set to reopen training a couple of days after they brought me back. There's no doubt in my mind that they already had another trainer getting ready to fill my position, because the second day back, they had me calling all of my clients to tell them that everything was back on. Of course, I spent my entire shift making fake phone calls and left my resignation on the desk effective immediately. Hope they had fun calling 3 months worth of classes. I have an even better job lined up. I hope it was worth it. For future reference, do not sign anything they give you if you intend to leave or think it is not an accurate representation of what happened. You would have a strong case for collecting unemployment, but it will be difficult if they have documents that you signed stating guilt. Nah, like every unemployment judge understands that signing write-ups is done under duress and they do not give a single shit as to whether they're signed or not. They just want to see if there's a documented pattern of behavior on the employer's side if they're claiming you were even fired for cause. Even if you were fired for cause, and even if the cause is true, still always contest it when you're denied unemployment. Show up on time for the hearing, which is basically always a phone call, and keep your mouth shut. Yes sirs and no sirs, always answer the judge honestly and don't interrupt or yell or get emotional. Your ex-employer might flat out lie about you, but let them talk. You'll be given your chance. Be polite, admit to nothing unless asked directly. Don't badmouth your former employer's character, even if they're a damn rat bastard of the first degree. Just the facts and only the facts that you're asked for. If you're calm and polite, judges love to rule for the employee. They know people need the money and employers are cheap and shady, so they're gonna assume you're being treated wrongfully unless you prove otherwise by running your mouth. I used to have to do these for a former employer, and the only time we ever won against an ex-employee is when they wouldn't stop running their mouths and pissing off the judge or admitting to shit we had never even claimed they did. Hint, using slurs against a former supervisor, no matter how bad, is gonna lose you the case. Every time. Just my experiences, and hopefully it helps someone out there. I worked for a pizza place that was a family-run affair. The niece of the owners was the assistant manager, and she was a pain in the ass to everyone. She quit, no notice during a shift, just poof, vanished, and moved to the city to live with friends. I was given her spot while still being a delivery driver, worked for 2 hours, no issues, not even a verbal warning. Come in to pick up my check and my manager tells me that I'm fired for stealing $1,500 from the register over the course of last year. Convenient that no one ever said stuff and my drawers always balanced out. The next day, she was back on shift and I was literally on the street. I was homeless while I was working there, lived in my car. No write-up, no police involved, just get out. Next story. So our fast food restaurant closes at midnight on Sundays, and around 11:15 p.m. we start transitioning to close and to get ready for the delivery we get every Sunday. There's a process here where we play a game of how many fries do we think we're gonna sell in the last 45 minutes and put the bags of them up front because we know the delivery takes the last hour of our shift like clockwork. And we can't access the big boxes of french fries due to a line of boxes and dollies and counting items and etc. Plus, our manager specifically says to not go in the walk-in during the delivery, not that we could anyway tonight. So I'm usually pretty good at guessing, and we had a car pull up who needed 2 large fries, so I dropped off 4 large, half a bag, the last half we had up front, just in case another car pulls up. It did. That second car pulls up and says, "Hi, I'd like a Bamberger large with fries, and I need those fries fresh." I was dumb enough to mention, "Well, today's your lucky day because I just dropped some fries right now." His increasingly pleasant response, "I don't care about those fries, yo. You better make me some new fries, fresh. Don't give me those fries, make me some new ones." Enter malicious compliance. Enter another entry into the Asshole Chronicles. Now, I could have just easily given him the fries I just dropped because they take around 3 minutes to cook, so he was pulling up just as they were finished. But he clearly said he didn't want those fries, so what's a cook to do? Do I lie and say these are not the fries they thought they were? Rip Dennis Green. I tell him it's gonna be a while on the new fries. He waits. I clean the Frosty machine, a 6-minute job, I'm quick and thorough, right in the front of the window. And wait, he honks. I apologize sincerely and explain that the fries are inaccessible until the delivery driver can get everything moved. Shouldn't be that much longer, then we can drop them. Maybe 10 minutes. And wait, I stock the nugget sauces, being mindful that I'm being watched like a hawk, so I pretend to look off in the middle distance of our restaurant like there's something going on there. He waits some more. Finally, coworker runs up, literally in his slip non-resistant shoes with the box, and we toss them into the fry bin. All of a sudden, he honks more emphatically now, and I come to the window to hear him yelling, "What? They're frozen? I wanted fresh!" He screeches off into the night, no food in sight. But alas, read him his rights. Officer Pay It Forward drives in for his usual, stops, Captain Fresh Fries gives the fry guy a ticket for his aggressive driving, a big no-no and a huge fine in AZ, and comes into line to get his freshly made fries. I know this because the officer is a regular to drive through and always pays for the person behind him. Like always, I guess we should call him Officer Pay It Backward. Pre-update. I'm an asshole, and not one of those cool assholes that sleeps with somebody's mom, drives a 3-wheeled vehicle with two tires in the front for some reason, one who truly gives no F's about other people's opinions. That's not me. I'm an asshole steeped in living the past, insecurity, and perpetual ideo disappointment. You would think that knowing that I'm an asshole, I'd somehow find a way to stop myself from being one, but nope. I just double down on my misbehavior and borderline toxic commentary like it's a God-given right. Even as I'm writing this, I feel no inkling to change despite not being proud of it. The crazy thing is, I have a great life, like a great friggin' life. Busy, but every person in my life is amazing to me in one way or another. They have my back, I have absolutely no reason to behave this way, but here I am. So comment away on my douchebaggery, but just be aware that you're not saying anything new, nor will it somehow be a revelation to me that will change my behavior. I'll still be a snide little shit. Even writing this is probably douchey. I appreciate you all though. So I don't know about your restaurant, but I was under the impression that many fast food restaurants use frozen and not fresh fries, and that making them fresh just means that they've been very recently cooked and have not sat under a heat lamp for very long. But what do I know? Not much. I think that Captain Picky got what he deserved, no fries and a ticket, but I'm a mean old lady. Next story. This is my mom's MC, but she's not on here, so I'll post it. My mom rents out 2 houses. One is the house she bought when she was married to her first husband. One is the house her first husband lived in after they divorced. When he died, my brother inherited it. I'm from the second marriage, and he asked my mom to manage it. Both houses are rented out to the city they're located in, and they use it as social housing for refugees. Because of this, they pay less rent than usual for the area. But to make up for that, they have pretty unique clauses in their contract. Example, that they're responsible to fix anything that wasn't caused by weather. That's not legal to do in a contract with private persons, but since the renter is the city, it's legal. Recently, the city approached my mom and told her that some appliances broke, and since the people living there didn't notify the city immediately, water seeped into the walls and caused mold to form within the walls. They assumed that the same rules as for private renters would apply to them and demanded that my mom should renovate. My mom told them that they should have a look into their contract. Point 4, sentence 2. Yes, she even gave them the exact sentence they should look at. They insisted and also told her that she needed to hire companies that work with the city to do the renovation because they would only trust those companies. My mom then asked if that means they're delegating the organization to her and are unwilling to work with any other companies. As they said yes, she acted. She organized everything and let the bills be sent to the city. The city returned the bill stating that my mom has to pay them. My mom sent a copy of the contract with the applying sentences highlighted and told them that if they refused to pay, she'd have to go to a lawyer and those costs would add to that. The city denied any responsibility for paying. They took it to court where, because our courts are notoriously overwhelmed with cases, an out-of-court settlement was advised. When presented with everything, the person from the court told the city they were definitely in the wrong, but then the city said that my mom deliberately chose the most expensive companies and they would only pay for a part of the bill because of that. Well, my mom had it in writing that they ordered her which companies to hire, so that was quickly resolved. Had they told my mom, listen, could you organize it and have the bill sent to us? She'd have picked companies with about half the cost. But well, that's life. I hate city purchasing guidelines. I work for a city government. We're forced to purchase items and services from specific businesses, which are usually more costly than I would personally use. Usually local businesses that are historically underused. Yeah, they're underused because they cost twice as much as someone else. A few years ago, I was renting out a house to the local government. Then a national budget came in, claiming austerity, and one of the only things that went down was rent for government housing, which only the government pays. They said something like landlords will be helping everyone do their part while announcing rent will go down. I just rented it to someone else privately for a better rate. Provide your own housing or drop your management salaries if you want to do your part. Next story. I just want to provide hope for young souls who get beat down by older adults for no reason or for being poor. In fact, no older adult should beat down a younger person. Older adults should build younger adults and young kids up. Either way, here we go. If any young people are listening, I'm over 30. I had a few teachers back in my day tell me I would never amount to anything or never measure up because I enjoyed life and I was a big goof, but most of all, I was poor. That was probably the reason I goofed a lot. You hide the pain with jokes and laughter when that's all you have. Anyway, I enjoyed goofing with my friends and playing games. I enjoyed the companionship of a close girlfriend. I'm a cisgendered male who is attracted to women, but most of all, I never had a teacher or an adult who let me know that I had a bright future. Most of my teachers or adults told me that I was headed down a wrong path. The only person who believed in me was my mom. Fast forward 14 years in the future, and I'm now very successful in my career and my relationships. Now thinking back on it, I would never tell a kid like me at 14 years old who went through many trauma and a divorce that you would never amount to anything. This post is for the kids who feel like I did. You'll make it out. You'll be happy. You'll be able to look back on this and smile like I am right now. The teacher's opinion does not matter. You are smart, strong, and intelligent. You are worthwhile. Keep that head high. Don't be ashamed of your past, but rather Look at it as a chapter in your life that shaped you. I am super proud of you, OP. Without trying to rain on your parade at all, I just want to add, you, as in everyone else, do not need to find your place in the great grind set in order to matter. These companies don't give a crap about anyone, and being a perfect working drone is not where our worth as human lies. This is especially important to internalize for people who struggle with a higher education or with mental health issues, or with physical disabilities. We all matter, despite what the teachers said, and despite what our parents said, and especially despite what a Fortune 500 company HR person said. You deserve to matter even if you have no job prospects at all. Thank you. My son took a test in a school that told him he would be a taxi driver. His reply sounded fun, and I could meet many interesting people. However, he's now 29 and making a great living and not as a taxi driver. He's so smart and has achieved so much. His teacher said college wouldn't suit him. I thought, wow, what great advice. That being sarcastic, he makes me proud every day. He's doing great in his adult life. If the idiot teachers could see him now, I'm so proud. Please keep spreading the words to young adults. Thank you again. So much of formal education isn't about learning. It's how well you can regurgitate the textbooks. So many high achievers fall on their faces the first time they have to apply what they've learned. Learning stuff you're interested in a way that works for you is the difference. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. Working to our strengths is how you move forward. Good for you that you didn't pay any attention to those teachers.